Sunny, the game had a lot of ebbs and flows. India were cruising along, especially when Rohit Sharma was at the crease. Him getting run out, do you think that was the turning point?
Yes, because if he had been chasing maybe 234 instead of 334, that may not have been the turning point. But because it was such a big score to chase, and him getting out at that stage when he was batting so well, it certainly was, I think, the turning point, because suddenly India looked a little bit vulnerable. Again, because the number 4 position is at the moment up for grabs. Hardik Pandya has come in for 2 back-to-back matches and has got runs, has batted well in both those matches. But I think there's just a little bit of uncertainty because Manish Pandey batting at number 6 doesn't know whether he's coming or going. Therefore, if these three, the top 3 batsmen don't get the runs and Hardik Pandya doesn't chip in with his 50-60, then India will struggle a little bit.
Right, Sunny, since you talk about the number 4 position, Pandya, of course, has come in for a 2nd game in a row. But the last time I spoke to you about that position, you said, you know, it has to be flexible. Depending on the match situation, you send in Pandya at 4. Just let's take this match and let's take the example of this particular game. Do you think the condition and the timing was right to send Pandya, or would you have sent someone else in that situation?
I would have sent in Manish Pandey at number 4, because that would have given him that much more time. He's a fine stroke player. He's a fine younger player. He's a tremendous fielder. He's a very good asset to the team. And I think giving him a little more overs to play will certainly help his batting. It will certainly help him to grow into that position at number 4. But you pick him for the first 2 games, you bat him at number 4, then in the next 2 games he bats at number 6. See, you picked Hardik Pandya as an all-rounder and you picked Manish Pandey as a main batsman. When those positions get swapped, and if, as I said, if the situation demands that you need quick runs, then Hardik Pandya's big hitting abilities certainly means that he has to be promoted. But otherwise, when you know that you have the chance to give a youngster more overs to bat, which will actually help him and the team, then I think that should have been done, because otherwise you're undermining his confidence.
Right. Saima, now let's go back to the start of the game, because Australia got on with a huge total, 334 is what they scored. I'm going back to India's selection today. Many expected a lot of changes simply because India had won the series, but all 3 changes in the bowling department, do you think there were 1 change too many? Because had there been just 1 or 2 changes, probably the other bowlers would have been doing well, could have covered up. But suddenly changing 3 bowlers and it's a completely different bowling attack that's suddenly playing against the Aussie team.
Yeah, maybe I think in hindsight you could say that we should have had maybe just 1 new ball bowler been given a break between Bhuvneshwar and Bumrah. One of them could have been given a break. But just the fact that India had already won the series does allow the team management and the selection committee to experiment a little bit. So I think that's exactly what they did. So there really is no harm in that being done. India has already won the series, and in a limited overs competition, particularly where you've got a few limited overs matches coming up for the rest of the season, then I think it made sense to give Mohammad Shami and Umesh Yadav a bit of a bowl, because they have not played cricket after the test series against Sri Lanka. So it's been more than a month that they haven't played any cricket. So I wouldn't quibble with that decision to pick 3 bowlers.
Right, Saima, now a lot of people will judge these 3 bowlers which got a chance to play in this particular series for the first time with the amount of runs they gave away today. But do you think that would be unfair simply because the previous 3 ODIs that we saw in this series, the conditions were really helping the Indian bowlers? This time around it was a flatter pitch, the batsmen were making merry, and then it just so happens that these 3 bowlers get a chance. So would it be unfair them to just judge them on this particular match and the pitch that they bowled on?
It's always unfair to judge any player on just 1 match. You've got to look at his past record, you've got to look at his potential. And all these 3 players have the potential to serve India for a long time. Akshar Patel may have been taken for runs, but he's shown in the past that he's a good player. He bowled really well in Sri Lanka against players who play spin bowling quite well. So he bowled really well over there. And as far as Umesh and Mohammad Shami are concerned, no question about their ability and their potential. So I wouldn't judge them by just one match. If they continue to have bad matches, then maybe they need to be given a break. But when they start to bowl well, they should be brought back again, because this Indian team has got some terrific new ball bowlers. Their bench strength is fantastic. So I really wouldn't, judge these guys by just one game.
All right, finally, Saimai, on this particular game, let's talk about Virat Kohli. I know he's a great batsman for India at the moment, scoring tons of runs. But it's happened twice in the series to the same bowler in the same fashion. Looking at it, do you think there is something technically he can work out? Or if you were to give him advice to avoid this sort of a dismissal again to the same bowler, what would that be?
Look, he's a fast learner. He's a very quick learner. I think having been dismissed twice by the same bowler in the same manner, I don't think he's going to play that shot again for a long, long time. So I wouldn't be too worried about that. It happens sometimes that you make the mistake for the second time. But knowing Virat Kohli, particularly against Coulter-Nile, he won't try to run the ball down to third man. Because Coulter-Nile's got the ability to bowl just a little bit wide of the crease and get the ball to come back in. That's what's happened. That's what has got Virat twice. But I wouldn't be too worried. I'm pretty certain he'll refrain from playing that shot maybe till he's 150. After that, he might.